crap, the video stopped. Okay, so as I was saying, they said hands on, and I go, so I continued to talk to my mother. She was freaking out. They tried to grab me, and I can't even remember. I know I tried to defend myself. One grabbed my leg, and I kneed him in the face. So I kneed him in the face, and then, and then they got me on the ground. And mind you, like, more than, like, how many staff do you fucking need for an 110-pound woman? Does that make you feel really powerful? Curious. So, going on, they got me in seclusion. As I was on the ground, though, before we get there, as I was on the ground, like, they had me sprawled, and I looked up, and fucking asshole Sutherland, fuck you, Sutherland, it's funny, one of the staff said to me about him, and they will remain nameless because they are wonderful. I'm not saying every cop and every Western State employee is fucked up, but we all know the ones who pretty much are. And, so anyways, I saw them assaulting my mother, grabbing her by the arms, upturned, pulling her out. So they also assaulted my mother, not just me. And so I'll leave that part out. But so they got me in seclusion, and I wanted to sit up, not lie down. They had me in restraints for wanting to talk to my mom. I'm just going to reiterate that. So because I wouldn't lie down, after I used the bathroom, they let me use the bathroom, and then I just wanted to sit up. They could leave the restraints on. I just wanted to sit up. So they took issue with that, pulled my pants down in front of male staff members, and I would say this is sexual assault. Injected me in the ass with something. I don't even remember what it was, but they forced me to take whatever that was for a month at least, and it made me feel like a fucking zombie. I don't even remember what it was. I just know it was horrific and so not okay. So not okay. That's called drugging someone against their will, but Western State doesn't give a shit. So let's see. Yeah, that was the worst. And again, it was in front of male staff members. My buttocks was exposed. So no consent there. None. I've said they wrote bullshit lies. I'm not the only one they've impacted, and I know this for a fact. And I came into it saying, you know what? I don't have time for this. I have a life. And my life, actually, to a degree, was looking up. Like, I had a doctor appointment set, which is something I need to figure out my doctor now and my dentist and all of that. That is not something I have figured out at present. So that was stuff I had on my plate. But again, my focal point was Nathan, and it's not now. So, again, it's impacted my relationships. I was highly isolated. They continued to say, despite knowing the age difference and the power differential, that Nate is my victim. Oh, I got to hear, oh, that poor guy. Yeah, he was enjoying fucking someone 39 years younger than him. That poor guy. All right, Jeanette from F6. All right. That poor guy. Yeah. They had, and this is another big issue, they had men with crimes against women on the same ward. And I ask you, how and why the fuck would that ever be acceptable? Come on, Sutherland, answer that. Someone, fucking answer me how that is acceptable. This is why I am not doing the video at my place. Current place. Temporary place. We'll get to that. So, yeah. Nate's not my victim. Never has been, never will be. And because I would not acknowledge that, that is like another bullshit reason Western State kept me. There was a shit ton of bullshit reasons, but 6 years, come on. There was one really great staff, though, who finally, like, she saw what was going on wasn't working, so she pulled me aside and actually worked it with me one-on-one and pulled up articles that were helpful, and we talked about shit. And I realized, hey, I have a relationship addiction. So when I'm in a relationship or interested in someone, I don't, at least I'm more cognizant of it now. It's hard for me to see when the bad outweighs the good and I should walk. And I finally did with Matthew. And I was not in a relationship. Like, I was done. It was complicated for a time. Like, sure, in the back of my head, I still care about him, but I don't need to. I'm done. I don't need to. I wonder, like, hey, I wonder, is he doing okay? I hope he's not relapsed again. But that's ultimately all up to him and not my problem. So, I have learned. Other than writing a bunch of bullshit lies and twisting shit, which Western is known for, let me cross off a couple that I have covered. Like, I was an object. I wasn't a fucking human to them. They were big on twisting things. We said that. I was mad for a long time. I was very bitter. Probably took it out on my mom. And Mom, I know you're probably watching this, and just know I love you and appreciate every single thing you've done for me, and I would be lost without you, and it breaks my heart what you're going through. In the time that I was at Western, I lost at least 8 people I knew, and the closest ones to me were my grandmothers. So losing them in an institution was, yeah, I don't remember my last conversation with my grandma Liz. She died in 2021. But my grandma Dorothy, I actually got to go say goodbye to. That is the one good thing the social worker did. However, it pisses me off that, okay, this might sound pompous or whatever. So, they allowed me to see my grandmother for the last time for 2 hours. Then I hear someone gets to go on an outing, and this bothers me. It does. Someone got to go on an outing to Tacoma Mall for 3 hours. I ask you, like, level of importance wise, what the fuck kind of decision was that? Like, I only get to see my grandma for 2 hours, yet they have the availability to take someone shopping for longer. Anyways, doesn't make any sense to me, but hey. Again, one size fits all treatment. Basically, I was not an alcoholic. I've never been an alcoholic. Never did drugs, unless you can't weed. any and all of that. Like, they expected people to attend groups that had nothing to do with why they were there. I was like, okay. Yeah. No, thank you. Let's see. I would love to do a... So we have men with crimes against women. We got that. So my Handle therapist, who was the healthiest person I knew, she was so sweet, only wanted the best for everyone. She died while I was in Western, and I didn't learn about it until a couple years after. I think it was a year or two after the fact. She had died of a brain tumor at 56, and it just makes no sense. The people who are the healthiest people, who eat right, who exercise, who all of that, I don't understand how they can just all of a sudden be sick. My grandma's boyfriend, he was her boyfriend. He died while I was in Western. And it was only a few months after my grandma, but I learned about it way after the fact. High school teacher died. My grandma's close friend died. So my high school teacher, math class teacher died. It's just, it impacts you, I think, more when you're in an environment like that, even if you weren't super close, because it's like there's so much loss, like so many people you knew. And like Marianne was one of the people I wanted to reconnect with. And learning that was absolutely heartbreaking. She was a really sweet lady. She ended up moving to Switzerland with her boyfriend or husband or whatever he is. So I will mention relationships had. So I was in a relationship with okay. I was like, Western State is not the dating pool. We are not going there, Cody. We are not doing it. I want to backtrack again for a second. So I would say I definitely have ADHD, if this video is not evidence. And also that, that there was so much conflict over my diagnosis. They said, no, she's delusional disorder. She's bipolar disorder. She's antisocial personality disorder. She's not autistic. I don't think I'm autistic. I don't think I do. I could be wrong. I don't care. My mother's hell-bent on that label. I'm not. I'm a person. Fuck the labels. Shout out to Wentworth. I don't care. I would say the one that is most pertinent to me and that impacts me on a daily basis is anxiety. I have an anxiety disorder, and they actually had me take DBT, and they were like, made it a discharge requirement, and they assigned a private person. Her name was Kathleen Pape, and she said, she was awful. I even left her a message afterwards. I said, I'll tell you what she said. So she said, without DBT, I would fail in life. Exact words. Without dialectical behavioral therapy, I will fail at life. I ask you, who would, if you tell someone that they're going to fail in life without something, does it really make you want to go take that thing? Because it certainly didn't me. Again, Western State, not federally accredited. They do whatever the hell they want. I know they're in the process of a lot of construction right now. Another big thing, I mentioned sexual assault. They had a male patient on the ward, big guy. he had touched my thigh. I had observed, anytime I have observed another man trying to take advantage of a woman, I have fucking said something, because you don't do that. You don't do that. One of the patients kept touching up on this lady, and I could tell she was uncomfortable, and it was another female patient, and it was a male patient, and I said, dude, she's obviously not comfortable. You need to back off. And he goes, you're nothing but a pretty face, Cody. You're nothing but a pretty face. I go, okay, leave her the fuck alone. Simple. I don't care. This guy was like fucking ugly as shit. And, you know, hire a prostitute or something. You don't just force yourself on people. I'm just gonna leave that mean thought to myself. Anyways, okay, no, I'm not. I was thinking, like, even the prostitute wouldn't want to go there. Maybe she wouldn't. I don't know. But, yeah, so there was this really big guy, really threatening guy. He put his hand on my thigh, and I said, big guy, like, big, you can remove your hand. And he did. Like, he's like, okay. He acted like I was crazy for not wanting him. And he said, oh, I have multiple wives. I'm the president of the United States. I'm like, okay, can see why you're here. Okay. So anyways, I've been through a lot. That's not even probably half of it. I will say that at least 3 different male patients in the course of the 9 months, in the course of the 6 years, have touched my butt. And any man who thinks it's okay to press advantages on a woman, and I will say, any woman who thinks it's okay to press advantages on a man, fair is fair. Not okay. Not cool at all. No, you don't do that. I know whoever's watching this and that's doing that, this isn't going to change their mind, but I hope you get your karma. So, I had been there for so long. I want to say probably the 4th year I was there, I ended up having it didn't go anywhere beyond an emotional, verbal thing, but there was a lot of flirtation. It was definitely, I mean, he was married. Thought I had learned my lesson the first time, but again, was there for so long. This person showed caring and interest, and while I was not physically attracted to them, yeah, it was a security guard, and he ended up getting reassigned. Like, people caught on, and I cared a lot. I don't care at all now. Because in the end, he was like, no, this never happened. I get why he did that, but it still is like, you're gonna lie in front of my face. I take issue with that, even though I get it. And I did lose my marbles for a second. When it comes to relationships, I kind of lose my marbles. My boyfriend now is gorgeous. He thinks he's ugly. He is the sexiest man I have ever been with, and oh my god, I want to marry him and have his babies. He already knows this, so this isn't news. But anyways, so I went through a lot of hard shit at Western, and if this video points out what the fuck is wrong with facilities, then I hope it does. And I would like to do an honorary fuck you list. So, Jonathan Serson, yeah, fuck you. You thought the worst of everyone. patient-wise. And you know what? There were some patients who really did need to be there. And I'm not saying that some patients haven't improved. I'm just saying I got a lot of trauma from dealing with door slamming, verbal shit, yelling, violence. I'm not into that. Like, it did not help me. Did not help me at all. It scarred me a lot. It still scars me every day. And I am still healing even after being out since September. So, Beth Nyberger, fuck you. David Chipchase, he said, okay, this was when I was in for 9 months. He said that he said to my mom that because she was visiting me and she was a little bit over time and I was maybe like a couple minutes late getting to one of the groups, whatever. He said, you're impacting her treatment. And my mom took the high road. She said, have a nice day. She just ignored him. She boom, motherfucker. Like, fuck you, David fucking fuckface, Chipchase, for what you said to my mom. And also, he said, if I did not accept that I was mentally ill, that I wouldn't discharge. He was an idiot. He's still an idiot. Jessica Hall, you're fake. Amy Jefferos, you were the intro to my nightmare. Fuck you. Gregory Lingawa, you said, I am intelligent enough to reconsider taking medication, and thus that if I did not take medication, I would be unintelligent. I did end up taking medication, but not because I was intimidated by any of the Western State Hospital assholes. I took medication because my best friend at the time, who is another loss to me, suggested, well, she didn't even suggest it. She just said for herself. So I put a little light bulb like, okay, I'll try Zoloft, and it's okay. I think it helped me deal with the door slamming. I mean, door slamming was the worst jarring thing for me, and yelling and violence and all of that. Just the unpredictability of the environment. There were some people who were cooler than others. I won't say that I maintained well, there is one patient I talked to. He's a really chill patient, and it saddens me that he's still there. There's people, I wish people would get actual help, and that's not Western State Hospital. Not at all. Jordan Charbonneau, fuck you. Vincent Wilson, this is my honorary number 1 fuck you, fuck your face. He said to me, so he would be nice sometimes, and then he'd be a total wolf in sheep's clothing, and I don't know why I ever, he would say all sorts of sideways shit to me, and I wanted to kind of give people the chance to be decent human beings, I guess, but the thing that he said to me that was unacceptable is, because during that relationship gone wrong with the other patient and I was moved to wards, my last grandmother died maybe a week after I moved wards. And so everyone on C9 knew what was going on, and then I was on C5. So I relayed to him what happened, and he's like, oh, you have my condolences, all of this, and I said, hey, if you want to share with the other ward. And he said, well, she died on your ward, not ours. I'm like, fuck you. She died everywhere. She didn't just die on my ward. Thank you very much. Fuck you. I actually didn't say that, but I really had to shut my fucking mouth. Yeah, and a lot of, after the relationship with the security guard and him getting reassigned, a lot of people hated me for that. But I'm like, it was also the security guard's decision to get involved with me, so why are you not mad at him for his actions? There were a couple people who were still nice, and they're like, well, yeah, like, fuck that guy. But yeah, so I would not say my experience at Western was a positive one. I would say that they oust all the good staff and leave all the ones who are only interested in the fucking paycheck. Vincent Wilson. So, yeah, Jessica Hall, Kelly Price, Marissa Chakiris. May karma bite you in the fucking asses. So, if I am inclined to make a part 2, I will, but surprised I didn't fucking cry more. Part that got to me the most is, of course, losing my grandmother. I just went through a lot in there, and I lost a lot of people, not even just from death, just they didn't want to stick around. I can't say I can blame them. I mean, until I was aware of the relationship disorder, I was actively making the same decisions with Nathan. And no one wants to, like, I had a friend who was on drugs, and she let drugs take over her life, and I just could not watch her deteriorate, so I couldn't be around for that. Anyways. Yeah, I understand how people would judge someone for being in a mental institution, but I was honest to God, and a lot of people said I didn't belong at Western State Hospital. I was the odd one out because I don't have schizophrenia. They wanted to label me as antisocial. I'm not antisocial. Maybe borderline personality disorder, but most definitely out of everything, I have anxiety. I would not say autism. Some people would. I don't give a fuck. I'm a human, and Western State Hospital is a piece of shit place. So I'm going to end on that note, and going to have to upload this video in 2 parts, but